Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Minecraft. We're gonna get started here. Today's goal is to cover up my little area with some glass. Since it's still nighttime, I'm just gonna retreat back in and probably work on this a little bit. I don't really know what to do at the moment. I could, let's cook some pork. Actually, let's cook some beef. Alright, I do have sand, a little bit, some sandstone. Well, what I could do is keep expanding this a little bit. This also kind of seems a bit laggy. We'll deal with that later though. And keep expanding this little tunnel system I've got going here, so I can eventually have a way out once I actually roof this place, which will be very nice. So let me think, what's some new news that I haven't filled you guys in on yet? One of my favorite YouTubers, Mercadurka, he does like commentary type videos, and he does these things called answer time and story story time, I believe he calls it, and it's very entertaining. So if you have a few moments while you're not kind of like glorified by me, you should go over and check out his channel. It's pretty popular. But yeah, whoops, that's not great. Let me put that back on there. Ooh, I need to get more torches soon too. I have a Spanish teacher who apparently sneezes a lot when people spray things such as perfumes or air fresheners, anything of the sort. And I told her that if she didn't play Road to El Dorado like she's been promising the class all year, that I would bring in air freshener. And I actually bought a can of it, which was really expensive. It was like $5. So I guess if she makes me mad enough tomorrow, well, yeah, lemon bitch. So, and besides that, we're kind of doing our finals this week, as this is our last week. We get out on Thursday and I'm recording this on Monday. So, and once we do our finals, we'll be done. And our final in there is due on Wednesday, but it's a project, so it's not a real final. It's just kind of something that I guess exists. And we're basically, the gist of it is we have to make a kind of like a fairy tale in Spanish, and Paul and I, we are pretty good friends. We have this Spanish class together. Ooh, you hear that zombie? That's not good. But we have this Spanish class together, and you might see him on some upcoming Let's Plays, hopefully once he gets a computer, which should happen pretty soon, I'm hoping. But we have this class together, and we were talking about our fairy tale, and what we decided it would be is, it's a story about an albino couple. Oh, that's not good. Okay, story about an albino couple who decides they need to have a kid to kind of keep the superior albino gene running through the family, and they have a kid and the kid's normal. Well, they realize they have to love the kid anyways, because they can't just hate him because he's not albino. So they love the kid, and one day they tell the kid they're gonna take him skiing. Well, if anybody has any common sense or knows what happens to really, really white people in really, really white stuff, snow that is, you perverts, you'll know that this doesn't end well. Well, they go skiing. The kid can't ski, so he takes the lift down because he went all the way up there and got scared. And as he's taking the lift down, and as he lands down at the bottom, he doesn't connect with his parents. His parents don't show up, and he gets really worried. And then an avalanche happens, and they get lost in the snow because they're very white. So he goes through his entire life being very sad at the fact that he no longer has parents. Oh, you know what? That's daytime music. But so he's very sad, obviously, because he doesn't have parents and there's nobody there to love him anymore. And so for 3 years he goes on being sad like this until at the end of the story, to kind of brighten things up, he commits suicide. He hangs himself, and our art teacher wanted our Spanish teacher wanted decently illustrated pictures to go along with this fairy tale. So I illustrated him hanging limply from I really don't know the word for him, but kind of like what they would use to execute people in the old times, is like a noose hung by kind of like a support beam. But he hangs himself on one of those, and that's depicted within the pictures and art that are included in the fairy tale. And it's perfect because our Spanish teacher is a nice person. She's not in my book, but she's not a horrible person, I guess. Not like I am. Because I would think a kid hanging himself is kind of funny. I mean, not in the way that most people are thinking right now, where, oh god, he just made fun of people who are committing suicide. That's not very nice. No, not in that way at all. I'm thinking more like, oh, the kid hung himself, and it's funny because he's not real and he's a completely fictional character, so nobody should be taking offense in the fact that a completely fictional character hung himself. And that is the only way I'm thinking of this. So if you actually get offended by somebody completely fictional hanging themselves, perhaps you might want to take a word of advice from those people. So now that we got the... Oh, shit. Come here, fucker. That's not good. I don't like skeletons. Alright, that's better. I'm going to try to alleviate some of this lag. I don't know if my Skype being open was part of it, which it doesn't seem like it was, but for some reason the lag is just atrocious right now. We need doors. Like that. Oh, that's nice. There's a door made out of all different types of wood. Here's the door. Okay, and we also need two shovels and a sword. Don't need that, don't need that. Put that in there. Okay, let's get some stuff consolidated. Don't need that, that. Do need the doors. Put one right there, one right there. Food goes in last slot. Supplies. Oh god! What the fuck? Okay. Time to put those doors on then. God. The fuck? Okay. That's cool, I guess. Go run back and kind of replace that floor since the creepers fucked it up. And then we can get on with our episode. Next expansion I think I'll do will be maybe bedroom right now. I do have a place where I will want to make my actual home, but that will come later once I've done a little bit more on this. And we actually won't have to live in that little crappy slum area once we get all this glass, because once we get the glass, we can actually go freely out into that area without having to worry about the threat of mobs, which will be really nice. And it's very convenient that I happen to have a desert conveniently placed right there. Yeah, so if you guys can hear a loud humming in the background, that's my fan. I'm sorry about that. It's a very hot summer day, and it just makes me more excited about summer vacation. In a way, it's not all exciting because I don't like heat like this, and it makes me sweat atrocious balls, but I can deal with it. So, time to start digging up some sand. I really don't like making an impact on the biomes in the area, so I like to dig up something that looks as if it would naturally not be there. And so you can't just look and be like, oh wow, look at that gigantic chunk of earth missing. I wonder what did that. I don't like unnatural looking things in my Minecraft world. They're quite annoying. I'm gonna get enough glass to cover a good bit, even if it's more than I know I'll need, because I know I'll need some in the future with our continued glassing over projects would I guess be the correct vocab for that. After this, we'll get some sort of farm possibly going in another low-lying area if I can find one, and hopefully it won't be too far away. We'll go until either both shovels break, or this island, this kind of oh yeah, I'm gonna go until the shovel breaks, because that island is not disappearing anytime soon. So yeah, pretty entertaining last week at school. It's really quite interesting to see the type of people who come out for these sorts of events. And oh yes, now I remember why I mentioned Mercadurka earlier in the episode. Well, he had, during one of his story times, he told a story about how a teacher, how he was getting a severe case of senioritis, and his teacher decided to give him an A- on his final. Well, what happened with that, and you can go over to his channel and get further details on it, but he didn't do his final because he was a senior and had senioritis, and he turned in his first year's notebook, so it would look like he did something, so he didn't have to embarrass himself in the front of the rest of the class. Well, the teacher says, "Hey, Mercadurka," obviously not his real name, but like I said, if you want those details, you can go over to his channel, because it's his story, and it's kind of not my place to be telling it. So he tells the teacher that she lost it, and that he really needs that for college, because it was a life skills class. Well, she feels bad, gives him an A- for the final, even though he didn't do it at all. Well, something similar happened to me, except not exactly the same circumstances. Me and Paul and I, and of course a few other classmates, have a chemistry class that we all like to participate in time on time. And our chemistry teacher is just the most bamf person ever. And today he decided that since he didn't want to grade all the work we've been doing for the past 2 or 3 weeks, that we would all get perfect marks on it because he trusts that we are all good students and did it. Which, of course, none of us are good students and none of us did it. But hey, well, I guess a few people probably did it. People who like to live up to their teachers' expectations. But hey, you won't see me complaining. Oh god, that chest is gone. That explains why I have a chest in my inventory. But we extremely lucked out because nearly none of us did it, and we would have been totally screwed if we would have had to do this. And all of our teachers are kind of going pretty lax on the whole final thing. I think I only have one real paper, pencil, Scantron type final, and that would be in my English class, which I of course hate. And that, I'm not complaining necessarily, well, I guess I am, but it's really nice that we only have one real final, because drawing and paint, I don't really count that as a final because it's not. We have to draw a self-portrait, and what I consider a final is like what I just said, a sit-down, Scantron, pencil and paper type final. Well, we have in math we have a unit quiz, and in chemistry we have a unit quiz, and unit quizzes are just chapters. So we lucked out in those classes, definitely, because our math teacher is definitely a hardball as far as quizzing goes, and I don't know, I guess he just felt either bad for us or bad for himself that he would have to grade all these finals and decided not to, which, like I said, you won't see me complaining about. So we definitely lucked out as far as the final department goes. And like I said, we lucked out. It's really the only way to explain it. So, with us all becoming seniors, we've definitely taken a very early case of senioritis. I've noticed, A, in myself, and B, in Paul, and in a lot of other people who also take the same classes as I do. And I wish there was something to do about it, but there's really not. We're in a depression. We don't have the same amount of fucks to give as we used to. I really wish we did, but we don't. I mean, not everybody can just go out and give fucks, because that's just kind of the nature of the depression. You can't, you're not economically sound enough to just be giving fucks everywhere, every left and right. So that's just something we unfortunately have to deal with as juniors and seniors, and surprisingly freshmen, which I don't believe they get the right to not give a shit. That's kind of unfair. I guess you could say it like that. So we've just worked for so long to be able to not give a shit, and then these freshmen are just like, I don't give a shit either. Well, that's not okay, freshmen. Alright, well, looks like we might be ending our episode length. Expanded on this a little, dug that little trench during the night time. Once I find out how to expand my episodes past 15 minutes, I'll surely do that. But as I know what you have to do. I'm just figuring out how to do it. So next episode will be hopefully installing the glass, and that concludes this episode. Leave a like, comment if you have something to say about it. Share it with your friends. Definitely very important right now. Not begging for views, but they're really nice. Kinda lets me know I'm doing something right. Alright, have a good day, guys.